else got good cupcakes?
Muddies.
Okay. Cupcakes. Good dessert.
Love a cupcake.
Good dessert.
I was part of the great cupcake surge in Los Angeles.
Wait,
Cupcakes were like the dessert of the moment.
Okay.
There was this place called Sprinkles.
Got you.
And nowadays you can even get sprinkles in airport vending machines. Or at least you could for a period of time. But like the line for sprinkles would be an hour. And then there were all these other cupcake shops. Like, you know, every dessert has its moment, or a lot of desserts. I think we're in a cookie surge right now. We had the froyo craze. Donuts will come in and out.
I think donuts should stay.
Yeah, donuts are
Donuts and ice cream are they're consistent. I don't remember cookie shops as a kid. And maybe that was just because of where I was.
Yeah, because we had the mall cookie shops.
The mall cookies.
But not like outside mall storefronts.
Yeah, I don't recall much of those as a child. Now maybe I lived a sheltered life, but whatever. What was the song?
The song was Misery Blues by Ma Rainey.
Okay.
It's old.
Yeah, I know it. Are you getting rid of it? There's no reason for you to keep it.
I mean, it's on my playlist because I had to write a paper on it in school, and so it does hit a sweet spot, but it sounds old, and it is old, and I'm gonna keep it.
You gonna keep it?
I'm gonna keep it.
Why?
I'm gonna keep it.
Why?
I don't know. Feels like a...
You're just keeping it to say you have it at this point.
Yeah. It feels kind of cool, right? Like,
yeah, no, it doesn't.
I have a Ma Rainey song.
No, it doesn't.
That pops up every now and then when I press
You're real snobbish
shuffle.
right now. You're
Yeah, it is a
real
little
like,
snobby.
look at me. I'm cultured. I'm civilized. I got Ma Rainey songs on my
I think I have like a
list.
handful of her. They're all the blues, like Moonshine Blues.
Yeah, she's a blues artist. She didn't sing
I know,
anything
but like
else,
the
did
songs
she?
used to physically be called the blues.
Okay. Oh, one of those?
Yeah.
Like Catfish Blues and
Yes,
Dishwashing Blues and...
Boll Weevil Blues.
Okay.
As
All
one
right.
does.
All right.
It's the blues. What's up, everybody? It is Monday, December 15th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. Tough weekend for the Grizz. Tough weekend for the Tigers. We'll get into it all. But some good injury news on the Grizzlies front. And it's another Grizzlies game day with the team in Los Angeles to face the Clippers tonight. Gary Parrish will join us to talk about it all. We will do our Dirty Dozen, 12 plays from the weekend to describe the football weekend that was. Fernando Mendoza is a Heisman winner. Two of the NFL's best players go down with ACL injuries. A little college volleyball sneaks in too. We'll get into the biggest storylines from the weekend. It was a busy one. It is a Monday. You know what we say. Just a bad mamma jamma. R.I.P. Carl Carlton.
Wait, who?
Yeah, he died too.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like,
The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour. The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
How are you able to release and have an instrumental song become a huge deal?
And I forget who the disc jockey was, but he put the wrong side on. He put the green onions by mistake. and played the B side instead of the A side.
No!
And that's when the change happened. These people started to call the station and say, play that song again.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you are surviving a cold start to the week. 20 degrees this morning in Memphis, Tennessee, which is at least better than yesterday when I woke up and it was 20 degrees with a feels-like temperature of 2. Today's feel-like temperature is 25. CJ, are you keeping yourself warm?
As warm as you can. Luke, former social media personality with the show, posted. Yeah, he posted on IG.
Yes.
Minnesota feels like -5. Like it's -5 degrees in some places. This is absurd.
But it felt like 2 here yesterday.
And that's-
I didn't move here to feel like 2.
No.
My hometown of Denver, Colorado, where I watched the Broncos win their big game over the Packers yesterday, 65 degrees and sunny.
I went to.
That's what we're supposed to have.
I went to the grocery store early Sunday morning, about 6:30 in the morning.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I was androgynous, dog. It made you pull it down. I looked like a Ken doll. Like it was just so
awful
cold.
outside.
Everything went away.
Everything
it was awful.
cold. Anyway, that's the weather report for you. Last Monday, I sat here and I said, wow, what a great weekend for Memphis sports it was. We had a couple Grizzlies wins. We had a big Memphis Tigers win over Baylor. The Memphis football team had a new head coach. This Monday, not so much. None of the action happened yesterday, so it was spaced out earlier in the weekend. But the Grizzlies lost to the Jazz on Friday. The Tigers lost by 26 to Louisville on Saturday. We will start with the Grizzlies and the final at FedEx Forum on Friday night, 130 to 126. I can tell you what's not fun. It's not fun watching a team lose to the only team in the Western Conference who is pretty loudly not trying to win games this season. Not too loud because then they'll get fined again, but they don't win a lot of them. They're not really built right now to be a contender, and instead you see the Grizzlies suffer death by Keontae George, a career high for Keontae George on Friday night with 39 points. He took the game ball home with them. And then we were joking before the game, CJ, like if we had to suffer death by, I don't know, Kevin Love in the year 2025, it would feel worse than suffering death by, I don't know, Harrison Barnes in 2025. And then what ends up happening in the third quarter of that game? Kevin Love cannot miss from 3. And he is left open time and time again from the three-point line. And he had 20 points off the bench. It was his first 20-point game in a few seasons. The last time he had one, I think he was on the Miami Heat still. He is now with the Jazz in Utah. He's not scored 20 points this season until he faced the Grizzlies on Friday night. First, Grizzlies lost to a team currently with a below 500 record, or more easily put, first loss to one of the bottom 13 teams, one of the worst 13 teams in the NBA this season. The Grizzlies previously 10-0 against those teams, and going into Friday night, there were only two teams who had not suffered a loss to one of the bottom 13 teams in the league. It was the Grizzlies and the Spurs. And now that cannot be said for the Grizzlies. And meanwhile, the Spurs got a hell of a win over the Thunder in the Cup on Saturday night semifinal action. I will say the good news, only 25 more days until Zach Edey should be reevaluated. 25. Count him down. He is missed.
If you need Zach Edey to beat that, then okay. Cam Spencer went 6 for 6, so there's
that was
something
a fun
run. Yeah, I don't know, man. They had nothing for Keontae. They had very little for Markkanen in that game. Where Zach Edey matters is getting you extra possessions, and they didn't do a good enough job getting enough extra possessions to overcome, like, in general, poor offense and
poor defense. You gave up 130 points to the Jazz.
Like, you got to be able to overcome some of that. When they realized, to Cam's credit, 6 for 6 from 3, but when the Jazz decided, hey, you know what? We're not going to run a screen. We're not going to catch, wait, square up, take a look around. Whoever Cam Spencer is guarding, catch the ball and go. Figure it out. Once you've hit that ball on the ground, figure it out from there. Right. But just catch, look, and go. Don't even look. Don't just catch and start dribbling at him. Once they figured out to start doing that, that really put a lot of pressure on the Grizzlies defense. And Mike talked about it some last week that, Cam has overcome a lot of defensive issues. And in that game, it was clear they were hell bent on punishing the Grizzlies for playing Cam Spencer. Mm-hmm. But again, he did go 6 for 6 from 3. I think it all matters, and this happened a while back, so it's not fresh in my mind. But like at a certain point, damn a system. Forget running the cuts. Forget whatever European philosophy you have. Kyle Filipowski is on Jaren Jackson Jr. Just give Jaren the ball until the Jazz do something different. And
early on, Jaren was punishing Filipowski multiple possessions, and then it went away.
He's on Filipowski is on Jaren, and they aren't sending a double. Yeah. They aren't doing anything. Forget whatever you want to run. Forget whatever the philosophy is. You're running things to get good shots. And the best shot you can get in this moment is Jaren one-on-one with Kyle Filipowski. I remember watching that, being extremely frustrated that they went away from it. They 2 times, boom, boom, worked. It's like, oh, it's coming back. No, and it didn't come back for a long time. And in a game against that type of a team that you have a bit more talent than, they're going at your weak link defensively. You've got to be able to go at theirs. And the easiest way to do that was to give Jaren the ball on the wing, on the elbow extended, top of the key. Say, hey, Jaren, get downhill. Let's go. It wasn't like he was in foul trouble. It wasn't like he had picked up a bunch of fouls and you didn't want him driving to the basket out of fear he'd get a charge or something like that. I just don't understand I understand what the plan is. I don't understand why it doesn't change depending on what the opponent is doing.
Yeah, it was such a PTSD game to the beginning of the season where you're 4-9 without Zach Edey. And it's why it felt so unfair that on the night that Ja Morant comes back, on 12-12 night, the Grizzlies looking for their 12th win, it is concurrent with, Zach Edey's back out of this. And immediately he's out. You give up 130 points. The third quarter was where things really got messy for the Grizzlies. They gave up 42 points to the Jazz in the third quarter. 42 points to the Jazz in a quarter. You can't do that. And then giving up the 24 second chance points. You saw it on the boards. You saw it with second chance opportunities. You saw it from the jump. There were 2 possessions early on where I think the Jazz got an offensive rebound and it led to a Keontae George 3, and then they got a defensive rebound and it led to a Markkanen 3 on the other side. And you talk about the possession battle, and it was just in favor to the Jazz from the early moments of that game. Now, I will say, it was great to see Ja back on the floor, and the very first possession, he drives to the basket with contact, and you just think, okay, that's good. Like, the confidence is there. The desire to get to the rim looked to be there. That run in the third quarter was sweet. Like, vintage Ja plays. He had the hesitation alley-oop to Santi. The John Jaren pick-and-roll alley-oop action was good to see. Just nice to see him drive confidently. That highlight of the night with the little shifty reverse under the basket that went viral coming out of this one. The chase-down block early in the game in terms of displays of his athleticism still being at a pretty elite level. All of that was really good. And then you also had the throwback dunk attempt on Kevin Love. Oh my God, the looks on our faces up on Radio Row of me, Elliot, Eric Hasseltine, Bennett, Vernon, Roser, Devin. Because on the other end was that awesome Ace Bailey dunk. And then almost immediately it was Ja trying to yam on Kevin Love. And you're like, oh, this is what it's all about. Like dunk attempts like that are so special. And Ja even talked about like not landing that dunk and the fear of being undercut at this point and also not getting some calls. And if you're not going to be helped by the officials, just kind of like the mental decisions that go into the mechanics of trying to throw down that kind of a dunk. Now, he had a not great shooting night, 7 of 20, 21 and 10 in 25 minutes. He was on a minutes restriction, and so when that heater's taken off in the third quarter, he also had to leave the game because you want to save him and have him have the ability to come back. I thought in contrast to how that worked with the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama, who was on a minutes restriction in that Spurs-Thunder game, where he gets saved and comes and has a massive fourth quarter, kind of worked the opposite effect with Ja, and then the ball gets in Ja's hands late in the fourth, and you see a lot of ISO action. I don't mind that because that is how you win games. You don't win games by giving up 130 points. You don't win games by giving up 24-second chance points, but you want the ball in your best player's hands. And there is this idea of how does this all mesh together, and Ja was asked about it. How do you mesh this system of ball on the string, constant ball movement, constant people movement that we saw without him, and then also now inserting one of the more ball-dominant guards in the league? And when he was asked about it, his first response was, my honest answer I'm going to keep to myself. But then he continued, and he said, I just try to find my spots within that. When we move the ball a lot, we normally get good shots. It's just finding my niche and my spots within the offense. So that is something to watch as we move forward in these games without Zach Edey, as Ja tries to integrate into this system that was working pretty well in his absence. And that is the conundrum at hand. And they have another opportunity to try to do it tonight against the Clippers. But what was your take on how things ended for the Grizzlies in that game?
Listen, man, you put the ball in your best player's hands late in games, and they've got to execute. Sometimes they execute, and when you've got a player like Ja Morant, most of the time he does execute. You know, most of the time he goes out there and he can bring it home. It's a close game, and with 4 or 5 minutes left, you know, okay, it's Ja time. How many times have we seen him take over games late? How many times have we seen him hit buzzer beaters and game winners, right? Like, so I'm 1,000% fine with it late. Wouldn't mind it early as well. Wouldn't mind it from him and from Jaren earlier in the contest as well. That's been the thing that has frustrated me some, and I think it's frustrated some Grizzlies fans where, okay, what's the point of running this system? The point of running the system, and not this system in particular, but any system, what's the point of running the chin offense? What's the point of running the flex offense? What's the point of running like a Princeton backdoor type offense, right? Like what's the point of running the triangle offense, right? Whatever the system is, what is the point of it? The point of it is to get the shot you want. Whatever you deem a good shot, that is the point. And sometimes in the NBA, you don't have to run anything. They just give you the opportunity to take the shot that you want. Jaren downhill going to either his left or his right with the ability to spin back over the left shoulder or the right shoulder in the paint is money. Why, oh why, are you hell-bent on swinging the ball around when you've got the mismatch you want? Mm-hmm. They're not doubling. That's him one-on-one. Ja Morant downhill is what you want. All right, that's a good quality offensive possession. You get Ja going downhill. If he gets a pinky toe on that free throw line, you won the possession. Because the defense, he has such gravity. We talked to Cedric Howard. I think Jalen Wells mentioned it during his interview with Gary Parrish, right? The gravitational pull of Ja Morant, particularly when he gets to that part of the court, like it collapses defenses and you get one pass, open look, or 1-2 passes, open looks. So they can do that whenever they want to, and they could do that against the Jazz whenever they wanted to. Why are we so hell bent on running this system? Mm-hmm. That's the thing. So late in games you can abandon it, and rightfully so. I think there are moments and points and spurts in the earlier portions of the game, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, where you could look to do that as well, and it won't derail a whole bunch of things offensively for you. Which one would you rather get? Would you rather get Jaren with 2 feet in the paint going to a left-handed hook shot, or would you rather get a three-point attempt from like Cedric Howard? Mm-hmm. You know, like I would take Jaren. And that's no disrespect to Cedric Howard. It's just I think that Jaren shot is going to go in more than the Cedric Howard shot.
Right.
You don't.
And some of those draw shots down the stretch, I thought was just a little rust.
Yeah.
Like he was 2 of 6 from 2-point attempts in the fourth quarter. So it doesn't feel good to lose to the Jazz. Again, I think defensively there are far more glaring issues.
How can you not get out there and cover the three? Some of this, again, is also schematically where it is, okay, we're going to let that dude shoot. Whoever that dude is, we're just going to let him shoot so Jaren can sort of hover in the paint. But it wasn't that dude shooting it. It was Keontae. Like, he was on fire. It was Kevin Love. It was Kevin Love. Like, Kevin Love does two things.
I came into the game concerned about Sensabaugh, and it ends up being Kevin Love.
Kevin Love does 2 things. He shoots the ball and he rebounds. Like,
Kevin Love with his graying hair.
Get out there.
Got the nice salt and pepper situation going on.
Kevin Love is unrecognizable to me now.
I know.
UCLA Kevin Love and this Kevin Love are 2 completely different people.
Yeah. He's got the hair.
Get in a new jaw, I think. Get out there and contest. What are we talking about? Don't leave Kevin Love out there.
It's one of those games that's frustrating as it's happening, and obviously you don't want to lose to the Jazz, and it's disheartening because it was Jazz comeback game, and it's extra disheartening because Zach Edey doesn't get to be a part of it. But I do still look at it from a standpoint of, I'm going to continue to go back to this quote from Tomas Isolo from a week ago, 2 weeks ago at this point, at practice one day, where he just talked about not overestimating the short term or underestimating the long term. And there is this patience of seeing how this all fits together, which it does nothing when you're talking about a loss to the Jazz and saying goodbye to the perceived opportunity of this team maybe getting to 500 with 2 games against the Jazz and the Clippers instead of having to venture into the NBA Cup knockout round where they would have had to play the Thunder or have to play more difficult opponents. Like, you got the Jazz and the Clippers. It was a pretty good lined up setup to have the chance to get back to 500. But we got to give it some time. And it's not at full strength. And I hope one day we do see it at full strength, because at this rate, we've seen it for 6 minutes. We've seen it for 6 minutes. John Morant said we should sage the whole place. We've been saying that. We've been saying we need to get the proper sage, not the grocery store sage, but the medical grade sage. I don't know where they sell that. I don't know what stores have the real sage that cleanses an arena of its injury aura. I will say we did get positive injury news, and that is that Brandon Clark was upgraded to doubtful. So probably not going to see Brandon Clark tonight, but I would guess that we will see Brandon Clark sometime this week, and that would be a big front court win for the Grizzlies, who did start Santi Aldama on Friday. I thought that was interesting, kept Jock Landale coming off the bench. But if you put Brandon Clark back in the mix, you have one of your best rim runners on the team. We'll see what he looks like coming off of this injury, but should be a plus for the Grizzlies when he makes his return. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the Memphis Tigers got waxed by Louisville in the return of that rivalry. Plus, we found out this year's Heisman winner. We'll get into all the football happenings, our Dirty Dozen. Gary Parrish will join us. We'll keep talking Grizzlies with him after a quick break.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Grizz Nation, don't foul out on dinner plans. Hit Sticks Express in downtown Memphis instead. Fresh hibachi, steak, shrimp, sushi tacos, and yes, our legendary sake slushy to keep things cool. Order online with code STIX901, STIX901, and knock 10% off your tab. It's the perfect pick and roll for game night. Sticks Express, fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And hey, come see us at our Collierville location too.
Memphis. Monday Night Raw returns with non-stop action, unmatched energy, and the superstars you love.
We don't get mad, we get even. We don't go home till we beat them. This is our time, we're leaving. Give me the crown undefeated.
Witness the moments you'll never forget. Monday Night Raw, Memphis. Monday, February 16th. Tickets and ringsider packages on sale next Friday.
Grizz Nation, Friday nights just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace-level ticket to the Grizz game and 2 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
Welcome back. While the Grizzlies lost on Friday to the Jazz, before we move on to college basketball and the Memphis Tigers, I did want to give a shout out to the Cup. That NBA Cup game between the Thunder and the Spurs was something else.
Both of them were good.
Yeah, but the second one was just more. Because the inevitability factor with the Thunder was starting to feel so heavy set. Just punishing everyone, 24-1, had barely played with their starting lineup. And then enter Victor Wembanyama, who comes back from injury from his calf strain. And he puts up 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. He's 6 of 11 from the field. He ultimately plays 21 minutes off the bench. 6th man of the year performance by Victor Wembanyama in one game coming off the bench. Watching Thunder guards try to do anything with Victor Wembanyama was like watching an apex predator play with his food. Like everything he was doing. He also hates Chet Holmgren and was punishing Chet on matchups. That dunk was one of the many opportunities where you just saw Victor Wembanyama and said, what can you do with this man? Alex Caruso is just trying his best. And when you try your best, it really doesn't matter against Victor Wembanyama. Like, it was quite the reminder of how impactful Victor Wembanyama can be, how good the Spurs team is. It is not a guaranteed that the Oklahoma City Thunder are just going to run over everyone, because the Oklahoma City Thunder, in order to win another championship, will likely have to play the Spurs. They'll play them again on Christmas, which I am just thrilled. The NFL can try to steal Christmas, but the NBA can counter with Victor Wembanyama taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder yet again. When he came in that first half, he cut a 16-point lead down to 3. He was a plus 20 at half, despite playing 7 minutes. Like, his impact is unreal.
Yeah.
But we hadn't seen it in a minute. We forget things so fast.
Did we?
I didn't forget.
We hadn't seen it for 3 weeks? He was out as long as Ja. Ja goes out and boom, Wemby goes out.
All the calf strains.
I ain't forgot. I know what it is. And that Spurs team is good without him. That's a Spurs team that is in the postseason, probably a top 6 seed, right? Like in the playoffs. With him, they're hell on wheels. What do you do with that? How do you match up with that? What can't he? If somebody is 7'4", if somebody is 7'4" with handles, able to hit a step back hezzy, and go by you, finish above the rim, finish below the rim, finish in the mid range as well, back you down, don't need to back you down, just turn and go straight up. What the hell are you supposed to do with that? The Thunder tried that nonsense that they tried with Jaren, and it worked, unfortunately, on Jaren with his, pit Dort, pit Caruso on him, get under him, get into him, and just make your hands start doing a whole bunch of stuff to distract him, right? That's not going to work on Wemby. It just isn't. So now you've got 7'4" Wemby going up against, I'm going to be generous, 6 foot Lou Dort? Right? Like, what do you expect is going to happen?
What's his official height?
He's going to finish.
6'4".
Huh?
6'4".
Lou Dort, my height. Right? Like, he's going to finish over him. What are we talking about? Like, Wemby is such a game changer in a way that, I don't know. I can't think of the last time we saw something like this. Maybe Giannis a couple years back, but even Giannis isn't this anymore. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great to see. Hopefully this is a matchup that I get to see in the postseason, right? In the playoffs, I want best of 7.
I want this.
Spurs, Thunder. Give it to me. I mean, I'll take it early so we don't have to worry about all these Achilles popping later on in the season, right? Give it to me first matchup. Let's go. Let's just get straight to it.
At this rate, we're not going to get it first matchup because it would be trending to be a Western Conference Finals type matchup. But I want it from the basketball to be played, but also the extras because, as I said, Wemby does not like Chet. Like, that man was hooping and hollering when Chet missed free throws in this game. I don't know if you saw the artsy-fartsy interview with Taylor Rooks. You see that black and white interview that, like, zooms in on Wemby's giant hand randomly? It looked like a horror movie shit. It was so bizarre. But she asked him about Chet and, like, what that matchup brings out in, like, both of them. And he totally deflects from the Chet of it all and instead shifts to, when we play the Thunder, the MVP is on the court. And when the MVP is on the court, like, that is our main focus. Like, wouldn't even give Chet the time of an answer. Just goes to the SGA of it all. And I appreciate having a real rivalry. Like, players who don't like each other and obviously don't like each other. And even Wemby's comments after the game where he said, I'm just glad to be a part of something that's growing to be so beautiful. Pure and ethical basketball. He knows exactly. All that time he spent with the monks, he is in his headspace, he is in his body space. Keep that calf right, and my God.
This is, yes, there's that part of it, right? Like, I'm better than SGA. I should be MVP, which is crazy for a third-year player to say that and be able to cash in on that.
Yes.
Right? Dillon Brooks thinks that way, but Dillon Brooks can't cash in on that. So for him to be able to think that and potentially cash in on that, wild. 1. 2, hates Chet. Great. 3, he's got beef with Draymond also. This is just Wemby now. Yeah. Wemby is now confident, and that is not what we wanted. We did not want that at all. Wemby is now good to maybe potentially great and confident, and he knows it. And now that he knows it, he's moving a bit differently. He's letting Draymond know, hey, stop. You can't hold me. He's letting the Thunder know, hey, listen, I'm on this court. I'm the baddest dude on the planet. Y'all respect me as such. And if you don't want to, that's fine. I'll take it from you. I'll take my respect from you, which is great to see.
How long until we, as a collective, stop looking at him as this, like, freakish alien, although Van Gundy said we shouldn't call him an alien because we deport aliens. And, I mean, the rest of the NBA might want that to happen at this point, but if you're San Antonio, there's no way you're letting that happen. But
Sanctuary City.
How long before we stop looking, we as in non-Spurs fans, we as in the collective, stop looking at him like, oh my God, this is an incredible thing to witness, and start looking at him like what he really is? French. He's French. We hate the French. Look what we did as a collective to Rudy Gobert.
Well, first off,
fair.
Rudy did it to Rudy.
Rudy did it himself, too, but he leaned into his most Frenchness.
Secondly, when he takes something American, when he takes something that Americans want. We want
Olympic gold medal and or
MVP.
Larry O'Brien, an MVP.
Yeah, that's when it happens. We were cool with SGA. We were fine with SGA up till like 2 years ago. It was like, oh,
he might win an MVP someday.
He might win MVP. He's not ethical anymore. We're cool with Giannis. We were like, oh, look at the Greek freak out there doing freaky things. Until Giannis won that MVP over James Harden. Then it became, oh, he's not skilled enough to win MVP. He doesn't do anything. Like, why are we like that? That is when we turn on the foreigners. When they get good enough to take American, I won't say jobs.
We haven't really turned against Jokic.
Because Jokic is scary. And also, we are naming that while they're all immigrants, some are like colored immigrants. And so that's like, we'll kick it with Jokic and them because that's one of those countries that President Trump wants immigrants to come from.
Okay,
right? Like, come from those places. Yeah, don't come from the ones with melanated people.
I just think it's so interesting because I do think we will reach a point where Wemby, as long as he stays healthy, that's the always caveat, but it will become so frustrating to have to watch your team play against Victor Wembanyama for the foreseeable future.
That's when it
hits.
Because we love Steph also.
Yes.
Steph, those first 3-4 years, Steph, little light-skinned self running down, babyface shimmying on dudes. Like, oh, isn't that cute? You can't win a championship with that.
Championship.
Oh, we hate that.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. Steph Curry is awful.
I will say the only good thing about coming home from the Grizzlies game Friday was then I also had to sit and watch the Warriors lose a heartbreaker to the Timberwolves where Steph was going off. And then that happened again to the Warriors yesterday. My God.
This man is 38.
Frustrating situation. How is he still doing it?
How can he still be going off?
And how is he being wasted at age 38? Like, what the hell? All right, I have to make sure we do get to the Memphis Tigers, who lost to Louisville 99-73. I was flipping back and forth early in this game between the end of the Celebration Bowl, which went to quadruple overtime, so I was having a good time watching that on Saturday. And then the Memphis-Louisville game had tipped off, and so I was kind of like half watching it, but I finally put the TV on that officially to stay, and it was an 8-point game, and I was like, oh, look at the Tigers hanging early. Maybe this will be more interesting than we gave it credit to be. And then I watched 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. Oh, no, it was 6 straight. It was 6 straight threes from Louisville where you went from an 8-point game to a 20-point game in a hurry. I think it was about a 4-minute stretch where it happened. And I said, oh, I guess this game isn't going to be all that good after all. Louisville, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. They shot 51% from 3. 18 of 35 for Louisville in the win over Memphis. Defensively, not good. Honestly, nothing really that good for Memphis. I did enjoy watching Kyle Brown Jr., one of the projected lottery picks for this year's draft for Louisville. That team is awesome. They're ranked 11th right now, and it was clear that Memphis could not hang with a ranked 11th team. There had been some hope because Memphis played Purdue really tight in the Bahamas. And coming off of the win over Baylor, perhaps there was a change in tide, and that evaporated rather quickly. Penny, after the game, talked about how he wasn't sure if this team had any idea what the rivalry really meant. And this is right after you lose by 26 in a rivalry environment in KFC Yum Center. He said his team just came to play against a really good team and failed at that. It did get me thinking, like, can any team really understand an old rivalry at this point if they're not that competitive? Right? Like, I understand you watch all the old videos and you can talk to people who it means something to, but can this generation really channel the energy of an old rivalry that has not been played recently?
Do we not have hate in our heart anymore?
Have we legislated
hate out? What do you mean? You're a competitor. You've been playing sports since you were little. You were just told, hey, hate that school over there for no reason. You just say, okay, we're in high school. Sure, why not? Hate that middle school for no, cool, I'll hate them. I don't care. Hate that elementary school. You just grow up knowing, hey, rivalries are a thing. Sometimes you just hate this thing just because. Like you should have that in you as a competitor, just being a competitor. That's a part of the makeup of a competitor. Is the fact that, hey, sometimes just unnecessarily, I just got to go out there and hate things. Man, now I'm fine with that. You got to understand that. And that's not, I understand what Coach Hardaway is saying. They went out there to play a good team. They didn't go out there to play a rival. But either way it goes, you got to be able to defend the 3. Maybe not after the first one or the second one or the third one.
But the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
But like by the time the 5th one goes through, you got to be like, okay, I have some pride in what I'm doing out here. We can't continue to they're going to beat us, fine. Make them beat us doing something else. Let's see if they can beat us doing something else. And I don't think the Tigers took that pride on and put it on display on the court on Saturday. I think that they were content to go out there and try their best, but not play with any sort of pride or fire or feistiness. And if you can't find the strength, the headspace to do that against Louisville, what the hell are you going to do middle of January, early February against an East Carolina that will be able to do that because you're Memphis and they're excited to play against Memphis? What are you going to do when it's North Texas in late January and you're there? I don't know if they go to North Texas. I'm just naming schools.
But you're at Rice.
Like, and they're up for this game. You've got to be able to be up for these things. You've got to be able to meet these moments. And right now, the Tigers aren't able to meet those moments.
Drink a big cup of Haterade and get it in your heart.
Hey, do something. Got to have some pride. Got to, at a certain point, you got to grab yourself and be like, oh, enough. Let's go.
They lost. It was bad. Their next game is against Vanderbilt on the 17th.
Where are they? They're 120 in the net. So is that better than what they were last week? Weren't they like 123?
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, so
they rose in the net.
We're up 3. We're up 3. When do they play Vandy?
Wednesday.
Oh, gosh.
We're good.
All
we're
right,
safe.
we're good.
We only have to do 120 squats
I was
this week.
hoping that they played Vandy and won tonight. And so maybe
then we could have had some.
Maybe we could move up to like
movement.
115 or something like that. Yeah.
Get those quads stretched out and ready to go.
Gosh.
We got to take a quick break. Gary Parrish is going to join us on the other side. We'll get his take on the Tigers, on the Grizzlies, on all sorts of stuff. That's GP after a quick break.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Welcome back. It is Monday. That means it's time to catch up with Gary Parrish, host of The Gary Parrish Show. Weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Grind City Media. He joins us every Monday. He joins us now, GP. What a weekend.
What a weekend that was. I mean, there's a lot going on.
You know, not to be that person, but this morning was one of those weird mornings getting ready for a sports show, especially a sports show that is focused on a Grizzlies loss to the Jazz on Friday, and then a Tigers butt kicking to Louisville on Saturday. But then after that Memphis-Louisville game, like the world went pretty crazy for the next 48 hours from the shooting at Brown. I mean, just a really sobering weekend, I would say. Like the shooting at Brown happens, the Hanukkah shooting at the beach in Australia, and watching the video of the courageous man who took the gun from one of the shooters there. You had the 2 U.S. military members who were killed in Syria. And then Sunday night rolls around, and you get the news that Rob Reiner and his wife were killed in their home, and then this morning finding out officially that it was their son.
Yeah, like this morning I had there's a podcast. It's like a 10-minute podcast every morning, just sort of recapping everything from the past 24 hours. I find it just good enough to keep me kind of informed. And like turned it on, and it was like, and at Brown, and then it was like, and in Sydney, and then it was like, and Rob Reiner, and Kelly was like, please turn that off. I can't hear all day. This is too much. It's like I just woke up, and it's just like the whole world's falling apart.
Well, and it's yet another reminder of just how fast we move now, because I do think each of those events in like a decade ago would have taken a heavy amount of focus and attention, and it would be the only thing being discussed today.
They would all be things you remember forever, and now they all just happen on top of each other. I genuinely jumped on the internet. I can't remember the order of things. This is how goofy it is. But like got on the internet, and it was like shooting. I was like, yeah, that's sad. And then I was like, hold up, another one? What? This is a whole different thing. This is a whole different thing that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Brown one interrupted the pre-show of the Heisman ceremony, and I was like, well, I'm glad it still matters enough to at least, I don't know if the Heisman ceremony itself had started, if they would have cut in with it, but at least for the pregame show, they cut in with it. And then the Rob Reiner, were you a Rob Reiner fan?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think you're around my age, Stand By Me is a meaningful film of your childhood. And he's got, a handful of those that, if you were of a certain age when Harry Met Sally came out, like you really connected with that. Mm-hmm. If you're a certain age of Stand By Me, you connect with that. A Few Good Men. I just sort of thinking through it. Some of these iconic just words from movies, like sayings, phrases.
The Princess Bride. Yeah. Inconceivable.
Stand By Me, You Want to See a Dead Body, A Few Good Men. You can't.
Harry Met Sally, many things.
Many things.
many
I'll
things.
have what she's had, whatever. Like
yes.
he was. I know he didn't necessarily write all of these words, but he had his fingerprints are all over it. He was an important person. More recently, he did a podcast with Soledad O'Brien about the JFK assassination, and I was. The movie JFK, the Oliver Stone film, came out when I was in high school, so I've always sort of been fascinated with that. And I listened to it, and I felt like I learned stuff, and it was entertaining, and I don't know, just sad stuff, like Jesus Christ, your son, 32 years old.
And your daughter finds you. I mean, we haven't had not to put the sensational lens on it, but it's been a minute since there's been a Hollywood murder. And even with it being a family murder, but just
in Brentwood with knives.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
In Brentwood with knives, we've been through this one before.
I thought to myself, if I was a kid staying home from school today in 2006, I would have had E-News on all day trying to get every piece of information. Instead, I'll find the information. I mean, we know for the most part, and I genuinely have a curiosity of it's so horrifying. It's one of those stories that's so horrifying, you want to know more. Same goes for the beach shooting. Same goes for the Brown shooting. But I do think we interact with these kind of stories far differently than we used to.
Well, you learn about them online. You learn about them before anything is official.
That too, yeah.
So, two, I guess, very different stories, but big stories of the past week. The Sharon Moore thing. Like, you know everything the day before it becomes official if you just do enough Twitter searches. And last night, I mean, I was texting with you and Bennett, and like the internet had this figured out pretty quickly. I mean, I think it took till late last night or early this morning for people in an official way to start putting the Sun in the story. But that was on the internet within 2 minutes of me first. TMZ posted what it posted, and within 2 minutes there was Twitter searches connecting the Sun to it. So yeah, weird times.
Segging to
do your best.
the sports.
Do your best.
Let's start with the Grizzlies from Friday night, where we saw John Morant play basketball for the first time in a few weeks, which was certainly a promising event of the Grizzlies season, but we were so quickly reminded of what the beginning of the season looked like. And that beginning of the season happened without Zach Edey. The Grizzlies right now are without Zach Edey. How do you explore this idea of Zach Edey being the most important player for the Grizzlies right now?
I'm not sure it's untrue. I mean, I think that you can find some statistical stuff to back that up, win-loss record stuff to back that up. Obviously, no one person is responsible for a win-loss record. You get into some weird conversations when you start trying to attach wins and losses to a quarterback or a point guard or a franchise player. Like, you know, is San Antonio better with Wemby? Of course not. But you could probably look at some record stuff and try to make a case if you're really bored. So, you know, all of this stuff can be misleading, but whether it's statistical stuff or just your eyeballs, you see the impact he makes on both ends of the court. And they played without him on Friday night, and it looked different. They played without him, and it looked different.
Yeah, and especially on the defensive end.
Yeah.
And everything. And you do get good news that Brandon Clark could be making his return this week. He's doubtful for tonight, so he probably won't play, but they play in Minnesota on Wednesday. You get a nice game against the Wizards next Saturday.
Right.
You hope it's a nice game against the Wizards. It should be
it's
a nice game.
It's supposed to be, but
against
so was
the Wizards.
So
but
was,
I thought Friday night
that
against
was
the
supposed
Jazz
to be
was
too.
also in that category. You have been around basketball so much, and just watching the Jazz at this point is every time they come through here, you think to yourself, when are the Jazz going to get it together? When are they going to have the guy?
They are forever, waiting for one more thing to happen before they put the pedal down.
It's like, Lauri Markkanen's having one of his best seasons ever, but is he the guy? Keontae George went off for 39 points, but I don't think anyone would say that's the face of the Jazz. There's obviously hope with Ace Bailey turning into that, or you lose enough games and you get someone like an AJ DeBonza who changes everything.
Yeah, they're trying to get into the top 3 of this draft, just like eventually a lot of teams will, I don't know if it's a lot, but other teams will pivot.
A number of teams.
A number of teams will pivot into that. And like, I'm anti-tanking, period, I believe, but I'm also not ignorant to the possible payoff of it. Like, everybody, even when and I don't think this franchise should pivot into anything. I want to be clear, but every once in a while you'll hear somebody say that. Trade this person and that person and go into tank mode. And I'm like, no. And I will continue to reject that unless we get to a point where we're deep in the season. Jaren, Zach Edey, some combination of that's not healthy. It's clear you're not going anywhere. Then I might say, all right, because look at San Antonio right now. That is a result of a bad season and some luck. But, the whole franchise and by extension city flips because you get a number 1 pick in that draft where you get that guy. And I know we've crowned Oklahoma City and given them like 7 championships, but that Spurs thing is going to be a problem for them and everybody else going forward. We saw it Saturday night. So, yeah, whether you're Utah or any other franchise, eventually you're going to find yourself in a place where you go, all right, there's a month left in the season. We're not going anywhere anyway, and we might be able to get a Darren Peterson or a Cameron Boozer or an AJ DeBonsa just by finishing with this type of record. And so I get it, but I will say, whether it was Ainge in Boston or the Ainges in Utah, they have their reputation is maybe too patient, too whereas when Brad Stevens took that thing over, that's when it was like, let's go make the big trade. Yeah. Let's move Marcus Smart. Let's go get Porzingis. Let's try to push it now. If I were a Utah fan, I'd wonder when is that, but I think it's probably this season. Try to hit that draft and then let's go.
Yeah, and you even look at Presti with the Thunder. Eventually, the picks get used, and they're used in a way that fills out a pretty remarkably deep roster. Then you look at the Spurs on Saturday in that game, and there are similarities between those two teams and how they are constructed. And you look at the other hits that they've had in the draft with Stephon Castle and the potential opportunity with Dylan Harper eventually. But it's interesting to watch from the perspective of another team, particularly another team in the Western Conference, where the Thunder and the Spurs seem to be in such a formidable position right now. It makes the vision of the future a little frustrating.
I think it's especially interesting and perhaps educational in San Antonio. Like, that whole thing has been, I know Pop's out of there now, but R.C. Buford's still there. Like, that's still the same people, more or less, in running that thing or got their fingerprints on that thing. But the players, it's a totally new group of humans relative to what you remember from, if it's Tim Duncan or Kawhi Leonard or David Robinson or Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. Like, the uniforms are the same. The humans inside the uniforms are different, but it all looks and feels and sounds exactly like it's always looked and felt and sounded. There's a real professionalism attached to it, a real seriousness attached to it. You get that perhaps to a lesser degree in Oklahoma City, but still there's something there that's tangible. You can see it. And if I ran an NBA franchise, I'd be trying to figure out how to get a hold of that.
The quote from Mitch Johnson after the Spurs win over the Thunder in the Cup to move to the Cup championship game, but where he said, "I think we are very comfortable in recognizing Victor Wembanyama as the face of our franchise and the biggest piece of our puzzle, but he's not the puzzle by himself, and he doesn't want to be. We are a team. We are a group." And the consistent reinforcement of that, and you looked at it. I mean, he came off the bench. He played 21 very impactful minutes, and he certainly flipped the game with 15 of his 22 in the fourth quarter, so he closes it for the Spurs. But it was Fox and Castle and Vassell who combined for 60-plus in the minutes where he's not on the court, being able to put the Spurs team. And you saw in how the Spurs played without Victor Wembanyama for a few weeks. They didn't drop off, and that's maybe the scariest part of all.
Yeah, no, those look like the two franchises that you are perhaps going to be looking at for a while. Obviously, injuries and all sorts of things can play a role, but I think the common denominator between the two, they're both run incredibly intelligently and smoothly, and then their stars are just no-nonsense, awesome basketball players. Like, there's nothing else you've ever heard about them. What else do you know about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander other than he's awesome at basketball player and gets fouled a lot?
He has a fashion in him.
Like, just,
what a way to put that. He is fashionable and has fashion moments off the court and does have some semblance in that world.
Yeah.
But yes, you don't know very much.
And with Victor Wembanyama, I know kind of like what he does in the offseason.
He trained with monks.
Right. But what else do you know about him? You know his girlfriend?
No.
I don't see. Like, they're just.
I don't even know if he has one.
I don't either. I have no idea. Do you know his dad?
No.
Yeah, I don't have any idea. Do you know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's dad? Mom?
No.
Like, I don't know these best friend. Do you know his best friend?
No.
Yeah, see, that's interesting to me that those franchises have taken off and the people leading them are they're serious about their job every single day, it appears.
And Victor Wembanyama is one of those psychos.
Yeah.
Like, you can
just
how he talks about Chet Holmgren and how he talks about the game and how he talks about his team and how he talks about himself. He is just one of those wired differently.
He's wired a different way.
Yes.
And that is, if you ever get the idea of tanking in your head, if somebody like that is available, that is why you do it, because he might have flipped that franchise into or ensured that franchise is in a good place for like 15 more years.
The Memphis Tigers weren't in a good place this weekend, Gary. They lost to Louisville.
Yeah.
We were talking in the last segment about Penny's comments after the game. where he said he wasn't sure if this team had any idea what the rivalry really meant. For you, is it even really about the rivalry coming out of this weekend, or just more of an indication of where this team actually is?
Yeah, the rivalry is not even really a rivalry anymore.
Sure.
I mean, they're not in the same league. I guess they're going to play annually, but they used to play 3 times annually sometimes, twice in the regular season, conference tournament. So that's pretty much over. It's for people my age and up to reminisce about, but that's all it is. Now these programs are in 2 entirely different places. And I don't want to say forever and always, because like just last year, Memphis was a top 25 team with an All-American guard. Things were okay a year ago, but you could see this trending in a not good direction. And now here we are. Louisville's going to bomb a lot of teams this season. You know, when they're going to go 18 to 35 from 3, they're committed.
Mathematically, that's a difficult thing.
Mathematically, you're not going to endure that successfully. If any game, they're committed to taking shots from the perimeter. That's the way they play. And if they're going to knock down more than 50% of them, because they're going to have a big number of takes, if they're going to make more than 50% of them, like just chalk it up and start getting ready for Vanderbilt. But here's the problem. Vanderbilt could do that to you too. And for a while it was, well, you know, like this schedule is the schedule, but you'll get in the league and then they'll win the league and that's how they'll get to the tournament. Well, they're not even the highest rated American team at KenPom anymore. That's actually Tulsa. So this is a delicate situation. Like you're for Penny, for a while have been hoping that the next season would be the best one. The next season would be the breakthrough. The next season would be the one that, you know, delivers in the way Memphis basketball has historically delivered. And here we are pretty deep into his head coaching career, and it doesn't look like this is going to be the best one. And at the end of it, they're going to have to, you know, have some difficult conversations, because this thing needs to be a moneymaker, and it needs to be something that matters on that campus. And right now, it's not where it needs to be in any of those ways.
Before I let you go, outside of the Memphis loss, which was certainly not the biggest story in college basketball this weekend, what was the biggest thing to happen in college basketball?
The handful of things. Nebraska remaining undefeated by getting a conference win at the buzzer on the road at Illinois. That's the only, literally the only power conference program in college basketball that's never won a game in the NCAA tournament. And they look like they've got a team good enough to do that this season. Beyond that, Michigan and Arizona just bombing 2 more opponents. I don't know that they've separated.
CJ stands up from his chair.
I don't know that they've separated from the rest of the sport, but they belong 1 and 2 in some order in every human poll. And then Darren Peterson, tight hamstring again, had to leave Kansas's game at NC State. KU was able to win it in overtime, but the whole Darren Peterson thing is becoming, you know, he's only played 4 games. He missed 7, tried to come back, couldn't finish the second half, never returned. And now, I mean, you know what hamstrings are. Like, it's almost like a 2 to 3 week thing at minimum.
Devontae Adams
every time.
seemed to tear his yesterday in the middle of the Rams game.
Right. So this just stinks. Like, I made this point before, but let's say you're a Spurs fan, just to circle back to that. If Wemby were to get hurt, which is something that has happened, you're like, man, this stinks, but he'll be back next year. There's often a next year in professional sports. In college basketball, no, you get one shot at this. You had one shot at Darren Peterson in a Kansas uniform, and it's not going well. And it would just be unfortunate if you look back at Bill Self's Hall of Fame career, 2 national championships, but the 2 most talented players he ever coached, Joel Embiid and Darren Peterson. Embiid, people don't remember this. He was hurt. He didn't play in the NCAA tournament, and they lose an early game to, I believe, Stanford. And now Darren Peterson is in street clothes more often than we'd like him to be. So it's been an awesome college basketball season so far. Tons of storylines, and those were the bigger ones from the weekend.
Did you have a Michigan note, CJ?
Michigan should have lost to Maryland. That game got real goofy. Refs ended up double teeing a guy. He ended up leaving. Maryland had a big who was giving Michigan that work down low. He leaves the game injured. Hurt. Like Michigan goes up against a team that can push them around physically and match them from a talent standpoint, which a lot of the Big Ten can. They'll be in trouble. No amount of Yaxel or Mara or whomever will save them if they don't get a bit tougher physically.
That's right. I mean, it was interesting. Arizona and Michigan both were down at the half and then just stormed in the second half away from home. Michigan is number 1 in most of the computers. Arizona's got the best body of work. But to your point about Michigan, Yeah, sure. It's not a perfect basketball team, but they do have a net rating at KenPom right now that is a full point better than the net rating that Florida ended with last season when Florida was 36-4 and won the national championship. What that suggests, I'll let odds makers, confirm it, but Michigan, number one at KenPom, would be favored on a neutral court over anybody in the country right now. And Michigan would be favored on a neutral court if we could, figure out a way to make this happen over the Florida team that just won the national championship.
Gary,
Walter Clayton was just here. We could bring him back.
Yeah, I saw him.
Respectfully, I understand neutral court favorite national championships and everything. When they go to East Lansing, who's going to be favored there? Because I watched that Maryland game, and all I thought about was, Tom Izzo's going to eat us
So this is wild. And I'm not even
saying
saying I agree with this or that it will be this way when we get to tip-off. But right now at KenPom, Michigan is favored in every game going forward, including at Michigan State, at Purdue, at Illinois, and at Iowa. I don't believe they should be favored in all of those games or that they will.
Are.
But right now, based on the way they performed this season at KenPom, that algorithm says Michigan should be favored in those buildings, which is kind of wild.
Gary. What a weekend.
What
Thanks
a
for joining us
weekend
on
that
this
was.
Monday. We'll catch up with you next time.
Oh, I can't imagine what's going to happen between now and then.
I never know at this point in this crazy world. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, speaking of things we never knew, two of the biggest players in the NFL both tore their ACL on the same day. We will do our Dirty Dozen, 12 plays from the football weekend to describe the weekend that was, plus a bonus college volleyball play in there as well with one of the biggest upsets we have seen in college sports. We'll get into everything from the NFL, college football, and more after a quick break.
Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dome Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dome Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Jeff Dunham. You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Who have you leaned on the most in terms of asking questions? Because there's always a fine line, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the rookie that's annoying people.
Exactly.
On the other hand, you want to be a sponge.
You can ask any of the guys. Like, I'm asking, it'd be random games where I'm sitting next to Ty or Jai or Scotty, and I'm like, hey, bro, what would you have done right there? Like, what do you feel like you would have did in that situation? Boom, 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 I probably would have did this. I'm like, all right, cool, I got it locked in now.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
let's go through the football weekend our Dirty Dozen 12 plays or happenings from the football weekend. Starting with Fernando Mendoza is this year's Heisman winner, and it wasn't even that close. Any thought that he would barely squeak by with the Heisman or perhaps get usurped by someone like a Diego Pavia was wrong, because Fernando Mendoza received 643 first-place votes and a total of 2,362 points. Diego Pavia was the runner-up with 189 first-place votes and 1,435 points. Mendoza wins it. His team showed up to celebrate with him afterwards, which I thought was awesome. You don't always see that. I don't think you've ever seen that, where the team surprises him and he goes into the post-Heisman winning press conference and his teammates are there to celebrate the moment with him. I saw a lot of this Heisman was boring discourse, and I really think that's crazy. Like, when you think about the story that is Indiana football and the story that is Fernando Mendoza, he led a team that has been one of college football's worst as recently as 2 years ago. And he led that team to a 13-0 season and the number 1 seed in the college football playoff while completing 71.5% of his passes, throwing for 2,980 yards and 33 touchdowns. That's a hell of a season.
We don't like football.
We hate football.
We like Alabama. We love Georgia. We enjoy Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan, LSU. We love USC. We like UCLA as well. We like Oregon. We like Washington. We love Texas, Oklahoma. We don't love college football. We don't.
Not enough.
Because if you're saying not enough, not at all. If you're saying this was boring, then I don't know what the hell you've been watching all season. Think for a second. Think. This is a Heisman Trophy ceremony, and the quarterback for Indiana, the second losingest program in college football history, that Indiana, and the quarterback for Vanderbilt, that Vanderbilt, they're both there. This is incredible. You might never see this again. You'll never see this again from these two programs. If history tells you anything, Vanderbilt and Indiana, correct me if I'm wrong. It will require you to look this up. I looked it up last week, and it just blew my mind. Indiana and Vanderbilt have over-under combined 20 All-Americans.
Vanderbilt and Indiana?
Combined. Over-under 20 All-Americans historically. If you were to guess. I would guess they'd have over, because they're power programs. They've been around for a while. They have
Indiana
under.
has 6.
And Vanderbilt has 7, if I remember correctly. They got 13 combined All-Americans between these two universities, I think. And you've got
Owsley Manier in 1906 for Vanderbilt. W.E. Metzer.
Come on, man.
Lewis Hardage. Rabbit Curry. I want to know more about Rabbit Curry.
That was Coach McGugan's guy.
Right.
Yep. But listen, man, like that's exciting and thrilling in and of itself. And then they hit you with the waterworks. And then they hit you with the, hey, because it's got to be waterworks. If ESPN is involved, they got to try and make you cry. Hey, Mendoza's mama, she's sitting right there. She suffers from MS.
If you have not read Mendoza's mom's Players Tribune piece, do yourself a favor.
There she is.
Protect this cutie patootie at all costs.
There she is, right there. So, it's a phenomenal story. It's a story that we don't get in college sports.
Yes.
This is the underdog. This is Rudy. We all love to talk about Rudy. Here Rudy is. We're like, a
transfer from Cal.
I kind of wish that Rudy wasn't there.
Or I kind of wish that Rudy was cooler.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, when watching Rudy, I have had that thought process many times.
I got to go to the notebook because I wrote some stuff down.
You go to the notebook. I do think a part of this is that Fernando Mendoza does not fit into the box that people want their Heisman winning quarterback to be. Like, he's a little goofy. He's a little dorky. But I'd rather have the dork than the other guy that I was rooting for to win the Heisman, who I have jumped off that bandwagon. But before I get into that, your workplace lay.
2023, the Pac-12 had the 2022 Heisman winner in Caleb Williams. The 2024 Heisman winner, Travis Hunter. The 2025 Heisman winner, Mendoza. They also had the Pac-12 Conference of Champions. The 23 Heisman finalists, plural, Penix and Bo Nix. And the 2024 Heisman finalists and number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. In 2023, the Pac-12 had all of them, and they allowed themselves to be gobbled up by everybody else. They allowed themselves to serve as little more because of poor marketing and some other things, some other mishaps. They allowed themselves to serve as nothing more and greed.
Greed by its members.
The members had to keep up with everybody else because the Pac-12 had fallen so far behind everybody else. They allowed the Pac-12 to serve as a farmer's system for everybody else in major college athletics. But they had all that talent and then some in the Pac-12. That year, recently.
I was happy to see Fernando Mendoza win it.
What's up with Pavia? What type of RC Cola Johnny Manziel is this dude?
Diego Pavia is a D-bag.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. You know this pains me. This hurts me. I've been kind of grappling with this all season, but it really pushed over the edge after he loses the Heisman. He both posts on Instagram saying, F all the voters, but family for life. As if saying, but family for life takes away from the fact that you just lost and said, F all the voters. Then he reportedly went to a club in New York and had the bottle service sign.
Not reportedly. We saw it.
Fine. I saw the bottle service sign say F Indiana. And I'm like, dude, you're 23 years old. You're 23 years old. And you talk about someone who went from my personal favorite underground college football player. And, like, really, we should have known.
He peed on
when
the
he peed on the field. Like, it's fine. But you know what? That didn't happen in the spotlight. It was more like a lore situation. Like, did you hear about that player at New Mexico State who peed on the New Mexico field? But he was so fun. He was an ultimate gamer. All he did was beat Hugh Freeze. And then he transfers to Vanderbilt. And he reconstructs the idea of Vanderbilt football as we know it. And he is one of the best stories in sports. Vanderbilt beats Alabama. We witness Vanderbilt football beat Alabama. And instead,
for the first time in our lives. And we've lived.
We have lived a life.
We went to elementary school.
We were borderline kicking Vanderbilt out of the SEC.
You weren't even alive the last time Vanderbilt beat Alabama, right? Wasn't it like 86?
Yes.
Yeah, we weren't even alive. So again, we got grown, good and damn grown before we saw Vanderbilt beat Alabama. And Pavia was a large part of the reason.
And instead, he's just a clown. And it pains me to say that. And I know we put out the apology, but look at that ChatGPT-ass apology, please. Like, it has M-dashes galore. And I hate when people say, ooh, it has M-dashes, so it's ChatGPT, because I'm somebody who uses M-dashes in my real life writing. And now ChatGPT has taken the M-dash and held on to it.
What the hell is an M-dash?
It's like the dashes when you separate as a punctuation tool. I use it as like an emphasis.
Okay.
When I am writing or a pause instead of a comma or a semicolon or just a period and start a new sentence, you do an M-dash. And I just don't think Diego Pavia knows what an M-dash is. And maybe that's being rude. But
he's at Vanderbilt.
Come on, man. Rude.
He's at Vanderbilt. He knows what it is.
You're right.
He's there. He knows.
I was disappointed in him. I really was.
You were this was it.
This was the final straw.
This was final straw.
It's been building, but this was the final straw.
Not when he was hopping on and popping off all summer long on various podcast platforms. That was charming.
I wouldn't say it was charming.
That was, hey, you can swing at Tennessee, right? If you're Vanderbilt starting quarterback, you can swing at them. That's punching up. Go do that. Somehow, and this goes back to how amazing this Indiana story is, somehow the Vanderbilt player taking shots at Indiana is, all right, Vanderbilt, behave with a bit more class. You can't swing that. That's punching down, even for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is punching down on Indiana. That's how incredible it is that Indiana is undefeated and has a Heisman Trophy winner as the #1 seed in the college football playoff.
I thought him talking ish was fine, and I appreciated it. Yeah, but there's a line for me that goes from, and it's not in Sharpie, it's faint.
Okay.
But a line between just talking trash, being confident, doing your thing, being unapologetically you, and then coming off of the Heisman thing and just, it just is a bad look.
But that's what he is.
Like, it's not that serious, but it's just a bad look.
That's what he is.
Yes.
That unapologetic is what he's been.
But being unapologetic doesn't mean saying F the voters.
You can get away with that in New Mexico. You can get away with that if Vanderbilt isn't good.
Right.
Isn't
You
good
can't get
enough.
away with it when you're on the stage for the Heisman.
Okay.
When you finish second for the Heisman, you're too good.
With great talent comes great
yes.
humility.
Sure.
Is what we expect.
All right, let's jump to the NFL, and then we'll come back for some of the other college football. It was a light college football weekend, but there were certainly some moments. The biggest story, though, coming out of the NFL weekend, saw 2 players tear their ACLs this weekend, which
and one pop a hammy.
Stunk. Yeah.
Injury. I thought about
Devontae
sending
Adams
something.
pulled up, and I was like, oh.
I thought about sending something from an injury standpoint, but
We'll go in order of, I don't want to say importance because both have massive implications. Micah Parsons tearing his ACL and what that does for the Packers and their chances at being a legitimate contender, that falters significantly without him. But watching the Kansas City Chiefs get eliminated from the playoffs on the same day that Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL could not have been worse for Kansas City Chiefs fans. Like, he is still the face of the NFL. He is the face of your franchise in Kansas City. They hadn't been officially eliminated from the playoffs at the moment where he tears his ACL. They were down 3, and he's trying to orchestrate a comeback, a win, and try to keep their slim chances at making the playoffs alive. And then he goes down, and you just know it's bad. You just know that it's not just a little knee tweak. You're like, oh, that might be an ACL. And then sure enough, it is an ACL. And you do have to think, this is it for this iteration. This is it for this dynasty. Why are you making that face?
Because I'm not. What do you mean, this iteration?
Of Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Travis Kelce.
This is it for Travis Kelce, sure.
So of those 3, like I found myself getting weirdly emotional thinking about the fact that Travis Kelce might play his last home game at Arrowhead on Christmas, and it won't be Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball.
I
That's
guess
kind of sad.
My mind went there because your mind can't help but go there. This is a team that's been in the playoffs, been in the AFC Championship game, been in the Super Bowl, won Super Bowls. Every year that Patrick Mahomes has been the starting quarterback, or all but one year, Patrick Mahomes has been the starting quarterback. And so my mind went there too, like, oh, the dynasty is over. My question, though, the question that rose in my mind, my question to you is, what are the dates for the Patriots dynasty?
There's multiple chapters, I think, of the Patriots dynasty. Because then you do get into the similarities of Tom Brady tearing his ACL in his 9th season and Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL. And I know it's different because Tom Brady tore it in the first game of the year. But both coming off of Super Bowl losses, both having 3 Super Bowls at that point in their career. And I do think ultimately for Kansas City, you never want to say your star quarterback tearing his ACL may have been a positive move in the right direction, because it's not. Like, you have to come back from that injury and you still don't know what exactly is wrong. Like, I heard some doctors say, oh, he could maybe be back in 9 to 10 months, but it depends on the ligament damage that they find when they're inside of there. And so there's so much. You never want to say an injury is a necessity, but this injury, and please don't say this injury is a necessity on social media because Chiefs fans will murder me in my sleep. But in terms of this event happening and forcing Kansas City to reevaluate, it could be a much needed moment for Patrick Mahomes for that next chapter, to really build this thing back up around him and not just say, here, Patrick Mahomes, go make spectacular play after spectacular play and try to keep doing this for the rest of your career. Like, get Patrick Mahomes some help when all is said and done.
They've always tried to get Patrick Mahomes help. They just hadn't hit on anybody.
Right.
I remember to when they ended up. Did they trade up to get Edwards-Helaire, or did they just take Edwards-Helaire? He had fallen to them. Either way it goes, or did they have a pick from somebody? Either way it goes, they had Edwards-Helaire coming out of college on that LSU team. It was like, holy hell, this is damn near every down back. His pass catching abilities, the way he runs between the tackles, this is unfair what the Chiefs have gotten going. And you missed on him. Xavier Worthy missed on that. You took a flyer out on Juju. You went in free agency. It was like, okay, here's a receiver. We could probably use him as a legit number 2, maybe a number 3, something like what the Cowboys are doing with Pickens right now. That hadn't quite worked out. So they've tried to build around Mahomes. They've tried to get him help. They've gotten that defense shored up a couple of times. They got as far as they did last year because that defense was really, really good. It's just, the injury happening this late in the season sucks because you don't know if he's going to be back for the start of the regular season next season. But also, like, they're out of the playoffs. And I know I asked the question, when does that dynasty, what are the dates on the Patriots dynasty? They missed the playoffs in there. Tom Brady goes out with that ACL. They missed the playoffs that year. 11-5 record, but still, they missed the playoffs that year. And I think we think about that dynasty as a continuation from, hey, when Brady steps in for Drew Bledsoe and wins the first championship, all the way through to Brady throwing the interception against the Titans in the playoffs to end it. We think about that as one long dynasty. So I'm not prepared to say that the Chiefs dynasty is over. And think about all the different iterations of what that Patriots team became and how they ended up building around Brady, to your point about building around Mahomes. You can do it a whole lot of different ways. Tom Brady has shown you that you can, and Patrick Mahomes is a talented enough quarterback for you to be able to say, okay, we did it with an explosive receiver and a really good tight end, a great tight end, all-time great tight end, somebody who could take the top off the defense at receiver and Tyreek Hill, not Evans, Tyreek Hill, and then a tight end who was one of the best at his position at the time in Travis Kelce. And then we did it with just a really good defense. Well, now how else can we build this thing? Can we do it with a really great run game? Because that's what the Patriots did at first. They had Corey Dillon. We're going to run the football. That's what we're going to do. Can we do it like that? Can we get a couple of slot guys in here? Can we find our Julian Edelman or our Wes Welker, somebody who's always open in the slot? Can we do it with a Randy Moss type on the outside, just somebody who's big and explosive? Like, there are a lot of different ways to build an NFL offense, and Patrick Mahomes will be great in any one of those ways.
Yeah, I think it's the end of something, but opens up the beginning of next. And you can connect that dynasty. I think when you look at the Patriots, so much of it is the attachment of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick together. And so if it's just Patrick Mahomes as the only member of that trio, really, of Reed, Mahomes, and Kelce, it has a different feel to it. But
did Andy Reid get injured?
No, but Andy Reid is 67 years old.
Oh, he's fine. He's young. He's cool.
I think, how old was who's the oldest coach to win a Super Bowl? Was it Bucks?
Jalen is saying Tony Dungy.
No.
No, wait.
No, it's Bruce. Yeah, it's Bruce Arians with the Bucks, and he was 68.
Okay.
So maybe Andy Reid does it until he's 70.
He was 68, and then Tom Brady retired, and then unretired, and so he was like, "Wait, why are you leaving?"
But to be fair, Andy Reid could be 68, and Patrick Mahomes is coming off an ACL tear, and he's never felt better. You know, so perhaps he's still there. But I did see this video of Travis Kelce leaving the stadium last night, and he just knocked on the wall as he was walking by it, and it was just so sad. It's like this sad man. It made me sad.
If he had caught a couple of passes, he would have. He might not have been in this.
The other player to tear his ACL, Michael Parsons, just a brutal loss for the Green Bay Packers. Saw him grab his knee and
right in front of the quarterback. Right in front of the quarterback. It's like, oh, he's going to deliver a. Oh no,
nope.
He's holding his knee.
No, I think he just tore his ACL. So now we saw within an hour the best quarterback. You can argue right now at this exact time who the best quarterback in the NFL, but the best quarterback that we've seen in the NFL in recent years and the best defensive player in the league go down very soon in succession with one another. It cannot be overstated how much Micah Parsons has transformed the Packers defense. Just insanely important. Saw this 66 pass rush wins this year for Micah Parsons, which is one less than the next 5 players on his team combined. It is the kind of loss that takes the Packers from being a Super Bowl contender to a good team, but probably not a Super Bowl contender, which makes the NFC so interesting. Because it's not just Micah Parsons. Christian Watson gets hurt yesterday, too. That was a big momentum shifter in that game against the Broncos. The Tucker Kraft injury was big for them when that happened. So it's just injury after injury after injury. You're reminded the NFL is a war of attrition. The Broncos did beat the Packers 34-26. They're now 12-2. Bo Nix's mom was right to believe in the Broncos, despite the fact that they were a home underdog to the Packers. I want to make a formal apology to my fellow Bronco fans. A few weeks ago, I said this team cannot keep getting away with this. And by that, I meant winning close games with your lights-out defense, but having a pretty lackluster offense, or even looking at it as an offense that could detract from the defensive performance of the Denver Broncos. If Bo Nix plays the way that he played yesterday, the Denver Broncos can absolutely make a serious run at this. He was great. Bo Nix, 302 yards, career-high 4 touchdowns, never sacked, never intercepted, 4 different receivers caught touchdown passes from him. He was cool, calm, collected. He delivered in the big moments. He made some big throws. I was wildly impressed with Bo Nix in that game.
Bo Nix ties Big Ben, Andrew Luck, Dak Prescott for second most wins in his first 2 seasons with 22. I guess that defense is carrying him, sure, but there are moments like this where it is, oh, all right, Bo, okay, I see you. Go on ahead then. You'll get 4 or 5 of these types of opportunities a game. If he can hit on 2 or 3 of those in a game and take care of the ball, stay away from turnovers, then yeah, absolutely, this Broncos team is good enough because that defense is special. Absolutely.
Yeah. He delivered in the biggest of moments. And from an eyeball test, that was the best I've seen Bo Nix look. And I am willing to say I was wrong if that's the version of Bo Nix that you're going to get. And at this point, I saw it with my eyes yesterday, so I'm willing to believe in the potential of it carrying this team through a playoff run, especially if they get home field advantage through the AFC, which they are absolutely in position to do. Because that home field is special, that crowd is special, the altitude works in their favor, and it's all coming together for this Broncos team. It looked like Surtain might have been injured yesterday, and then he popped back up, which was great news for them. They've avoided injuries. What did I just say? The NFL season is a war of attrition. And at this point, the Broncos have avoided injuries. They've gotten better. Things are clicking. Sean Payton has it working, and Bo Nix played really well, along with that Denver defense. So, shout out Broncos. I'm one of you. 303 forever. God. All right, what's one of your plays?
Before we get there, I got a couple of things. One, this will be the first time since 1998. Take a moment. Think about how old you were and what you were doing in 1998 that the NFL playoffs will not have one of Manning, Brady, or Mahomes in it. Second thing, don't miss 25 days of prizes, giveaways, and more during Grizzmas presented by Pinnacle Financial Partners. From now till Christmas Day, Grizz fans have the chance to unwrap incredible prizes every single day. Today, you enter for a chance to win a signed Cedric Coward jersey. Go to grizzlies.com/Grizzmas to enter. Celebration Bowl was incredible. Prairie View A&M jumps out to a 21-0 lead. South Carolina State comes fighting all the way back, and then quadruple overtime. This play pops off. Running back is in the flat. You got to get the 2-point conversion because it's in 4 overtimes. You got to go for the 2s. He's running, and does he get in? Does the ball cross the pylon? Look at this slow motion replay of it. Right there is a cross. Right there. He crossed it right there. They ruled it good. 2-point conversion good. Prairie View A&M gets the opportunity to try and match it. They don't. South Carolina State wins the Celebration Bowl, get crowned your Black College Football National Champions, and what was one of the greatest Celebration Bowls of all time. Nobody was talking about Tremaine Jackson. Nobody was talking about Chennis Berry. Coach Berry brought that up during the post-game presser. If you hadn't seen that video, I tweeted it out there because it's hilarious. Shout out to South Carolina State and Coach Chennis Berry, man.
It was a great game.
Yeah, good stuff.
Didn't expect to watch all of it. I was doing some laundry. And next thing you know, you're in quadruple overtime.
Quadruple overtime. Good
told
stuff.
Chris, I said, how dare you went to the grocery store during a quadruple overtime Celebration Bowl? What
Well,
are
we know,
you doing?
We know Chris's stance on those people. He gets us confused. He doesn't.
Oh, no, his stance is just on anytime he can avoid me making him watch a playoff caliber college football game.
He's fine with Buffalo, Northern Illinois to start the
he was
college football season.
so excited that I didn't make him watch the bucked up LA Bowl because I saw that Washington was just destroying Boise State, and Maddox, name of a quarterback, is just insane. Back to the NFL, Josh Allen. We talk about the Broncos maybe owning home field advantage through the playoffs. With the Chiefs going out, with the kryptonite of the Buffalo Bills out of this thing, this is the Buffalo Bills season to make it to a Super Bowl. My God, Josh Allen was awesome in the second half of this game. Led Buffalo to 5 straight scoring drives. They had been down 21-0. He got caught puking on the sideline. People were like, is he puking because his defense is so bad? Get this man a defense. Get this man a star wide receiver. And then he just orchestrated one of those desperado Josh Allen, put it all on your shoulders and make it happen kind of games. Gamer mode Josh Allen. They win 35-31, beat the Patriots, who had beaten them earlier in this season. Just when Josh Allen is extending plays like that and attacking downfield, he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. You would love to see that tap in constantly. But when he's able to pull it out, it puts on a pretty special show.
Got to take care of the ball. Josh Allen's whole thing is the way we talk about Josh Allen from a game-to-game basis is pretty much, did you take care of the ball? How many turnovers did you have? I don't think he had any
Playing
yesterday.
Desperate without playing reckless is the key to Josh Allen.
Yeah, but Josh Allen is reckless all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. Like this season,
carefully reckless.
Last season, he only had 6-7 interceptions. It was like, oh, okay, Josh Allen has turned the corner, and look at what this team is. As long as he's not giving the ball away, Josh Allen's got, I think, 11 or 12 turnovers, fumbles, and interceptions combined on the season right now. You're not going to win games in the playoffs if you're turning the ball over, and I think that this is why I don't trust fully the Patriots and to a certain extent the Broncos. Because when that dude comes through and that team comes through, okay, what are you going to do? Because this is your first time here like this. This isn't theirs. They've been here. This coaching staff has been here before.
Through the fire and the disappointment.
They've done this together. So what are you going to be able to do? I think Vrabel's a tremendous coach, sure. And when the Patriots are breaking off runs like this one, it's incredible to see.
Unreal.
He was gone. Dravion gone. His quarterback gone in front of him. I didn't know Drake May had wheels like this. But even though they can make big run plays and they are a really good team defensively, I question what the Patriots are in the playoffs, because they had a chance in a game that mattered, and all of them mattered, but this one mattered from a winning your division standpoint. The Patriots win this, they win their division, and incredible run. Both of them running over 20 miles per hour is wild. They still lost it, and they were up 21-0, and they still lost it. Who's out in front? Drake May. Look at Drake May go. Go, Drake, go. Just running, just fast as hell. Did not know Drake May had that in him. He rushed for 2 scores yesterday to pit the Patriots up 14-0, I do believe, early in that game. So, yeah, that was one of mine.
Speaking of a fast as hell play, the pick 6 off of Joe Burrow in the fourth quarter of the Bengals-Ravens game, where the Bengals get blanked by the Ravens 24-0. Joe Burrow throws this, and this is the most heads-up play by Kyle Van Noy. Like, nah, I'm a little tired. Here, you're faster than me. Take this, carry it. He posted on TikTok, work smarter, not harder. And that was the epitome of a work smarter, not harder play. Like, just a perfectly executed handoff. Oh, zip. There you go. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow's not having fun. Joe Burrow's not having fun playing football right now. It is obvious. He made those comments last week about, like, if I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. And I think some people misinterpreted those comments to be specifically about his time in Cincinnati. I think it's more like large picture Joe Burrow not having fun playing this game right now, between being on the injury report for a fair amount of the season yet again, and also still having no defense, and also having a not very good offensive line. But he was asked directly, like, if he still enjoys playing for the Bengals, and he reiterated, my comments had nothing to do with Cincinnati. They have everything to do with me and my mindset and football. And I really think we might have some of these younger athletes like grapple with the idea of, do I want to keep doing this? And I'm not forcing, retirement on Joe Burrow, but I do think there's a headspace of younger people that we can't really get behind because we're not used to it. But I see this on TikTok all the time with just young people talking about, like, their happiness coming before anything, even their job, and maybe the job that they always wanted or the job that they worked really hard to get. Maybe that requires stepping away from that. And I think we're a long ways away from Joe Burrow doing that. There would be a lot of things in place, and the money is just so big in professional sports too that plays a part. But he's not having a good time, and he's being vocal about not having a good time right now.
And you can't just go at your employers,
yes,
which is what he should do. He should say,
yes,
hey, why are my general managers so bad at their jobs? I'm good. Jamar's good, right?
I'm not just good, I'm great.
Why are the people in charge of building this thing so bad at their jobs? So he's doing this because he can't say that out loud. So it's, hey, I'm not having fun. And then you and I and everybody speculates, hey, is he talking about considering retiring? To which will then put pressure on the ownership to get a general manager and a coach that can build and coach this thing the way that it needs to.
You would hope.
You say that this generation, like we didn't see Barry Sanders just walk away.
Yeah, that's true.
We saw Andrew Luck walk away. We've seen Coffee walk away. We've seen dudes decide, hey, you know what? This isn't for me anymore. I'm cool. I'm good. I've done all the things that I've needed to do. I want to be able to walk and know where I'm going when I get older. So, like, if he's
Heavy
saying
on the
this,
know where I'm going.
I don't know if he's, because I don't want to put retirement on him. I don't
Right.
want to hop in his head. But I heard that and thought, oh, he's absolutely fed up with what the Bengals are doing. And he's trying to put pressure on them any way that he can to do a better job of building around them.
He's in a toxic workplace.
Very much so.
Very so.
Very much.
We did watch 44-year-old Phillip Rivers play yesterday. I thought he was going to get a win, but ultimately the Seahawks game-winning field goal. Watched Phillip Rivers both throw a touchdown pass and also throw a game-sealing interception. That was the return of Phillip Rivers. He was not as bad as I expected him to be. He was nothing spectacular. He was just fine. And I thought his comments after the game where he said hopefully his sons and his players see him and are like, crap, coach wasn't scared. And I thought to myself, is this just one bit for Phillip Rivers to try to motivate his team? Is this just...
What a high school coach!
Is this just a massive high school coaching move where he's like, you know what, dadgummit, I know how I can get more out of my players. What if at 44 years old as a grandfather I go back to the league and show I'm not scared? How can you be scared? Look what I did. And they still lost. I think he'll be better next week with another week of practice behind him.
I was so glad that they lost because I could not come
Oh,
in
it was gonna be so bad.
and deal with the Phillip Rivers love. Like somehow he was the reason they won. It's incredible that he was able to be out there and be competent. And he's second ever grandfather to throw a touchdown in the NFL. So yeah, tip of the cap to him.
That's a moment.
Good for
a
him.
moment we will always have. What else
Are
did
we
you
gonna
have?
do the rest of these? Or are we just ending?
Let's go really fast.
They were twirling coyote pelts during the
you're doing
Montana
these.
South Dakota State. What do you mean I'm doing these?
I thought we were going to stay in the NFL box, but do
what's-
the twirling of
I
coyotes.
wait,
You had
what's
something
the-
with the Rams.
What's the next? Yeah, the Rams do something. But here
Anyway,
he
more
is.
importantly,
Look at
the
coyote
Coyotes.
pelts. They've got coyote pelts. I was like, why are we twirling coyotes? I didn't realize South Dakota, their mascot is the coyotes. So the people find people up in Montana who's taking on Montana State. I do believe in the semifinals this week. They
find coyote pelts?
They just find. They hunt coyotes.
sorry, they hunt
They
coyote
got some
pelts?
coyote pelts. Throw the video back up. It's one being twirled. It's two more just hanging there. Look. It's coyote pelts everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something you don't see every day. Different part of the country. Can't say I've ever seen a coyote pelt twirled in person.
College football is incredible.
But I appreciate
This
it
is good stuff.
so greatly.
Good stuff. You wanted me to do the NFL? so you
No,
want me
it's
to go?
fine. We're good.
Okay.
Rams won. Rams look good. Matthew Stafford affirmed MVP.
Been a tough week
front runner.
for Michigan fans. So I figured
What
I'd bring
else?
some joy. Here's Aiden Hutchinson on a pick.
Oh, wow, you're desperate.
Look at him go. Hutch just picks it off. And if he realizes he's got a blocker and veers to the right, it's a touchdown. But no, he gets tackled right here. It's tough.
And
but
then the
not
Lions lost.
Not just Hutch, though. Can we see what 9 is doing, Jalen? Can you throw up what J.J. McCarthy's doing? Just naked booting it. Look at J.J. Gritty your ass into the end zone.
Into the end zone.
Let's go, J.J. Got to check the notes here.
Cowboys
JJ?
not officially eliminated, but now just a 1% chance of making the playoffs.
You let J.J. McCarthy gritty into the end zone.
You're not allowed to make the postseason.
Last 2 weeks for J.J. McCarthy, 447 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 118.6 passer rating. Last night, McCarthy threw for multiple touchdowns and rushed for a touchdown for the 3rd time in his career. No other quarterback has done that 3 times within their first 8 games. So, damn it.
And
It's
just
still-
ignore the fact that one of those games was against the Cowboys defense. It's fine.
It's still great to be a Michigan Wolverine, dog.
Sure is.
It
Said
is.
everybody this past
It
7
is.
days. They said, you want to know what? I want to be a Michigan man.
Thank God for those 2
I
Michigan
wanna
men
be a
right there.
Michigan man.
Doing it the right way.
All right, last but not least, before we get out of here, I did want to give a shout out to one of the biggest upsets in college sports that we have seen in recent memory. Texas A&M beat Nebraska. And if you don't follow college volleyball, let me tell you, Nebraska, absolute powerhouse, went into this match 33-0. They had lost 7 sets all season and only one at home. They had not lost a home match since 2022. 63 home match win streak, 29 straight postseason home wins, and they lose to Texas A&M, who punches their ticket to the Final Four. Nebraska just absolutely devastated. Like the tears, the celebration on the side of Texas A&M, but listening to the Nebraska players after this, I mean, one of them was just bawling up on the podium. The match itself was enthralling. I don't watch a lot of college volleyball. I don't watch a lot of volleyball. My sports, mind is stacked. But every time I do, I go, God, I wish I watched more of this because it's really fun. And it was crazy. The reactions of people who follow it very acutely, just shocked. Nebraska, down. Won't be going to their 4th straight Final Four. Too bad. Talking about a dynasty. Crack in the dynasty.
One more dynasty to get to before we get out. D2 dynasty. Ferris State.
I love a D2 dynasty.
Looking for their 4th football championship in 5 years. They made it to the championship game with their win over, I can't remember who they beat. I do remember, though, this hit popping up. Quarterback in the bow, just in the 2 steps in the end zone, and the defender said, Newberry, I do believe.
I want another one.
That said, you know what? To hell with it. I gotta hit you. I gotta hit you. Y'all not finna keep stunning on us and not get hit. Referee comes in and pushes the dude away because he wallows him and then he flexes on him.
So desperately need another angle of that.
We got slow motion. We'll keep talking as it keeps going. But this is why you run through the back of the end zone so you don't get hit like that. Right?
God.
That is terrible. That's almost as bad as just dropping the ball before you cross the goal line. If you lower your shoulder and just run through the back of the end zone, you don't have to worry about getting mollywopped like that. That Newberry player was, I think, well within his right to hit him. He hadn't crossed all the way into the end zone. He was in there, though. He was absolutely in there. And listen, man, sometimes you got to hit. If this was a regular season game, I think a fight would have popped off. But I don't think Ferris State wanted to fight because they've got another game to play. They got a championship game to go out there and play. And somebody for Newberry's just laying on the ground for some reason. Not really sure why or what's going on there. But it was a big old hit. Here's a replay for you, Jessica. Look at this. Fake the handoff. Up. Defensive end comes inside. Loses contain. What are you doing? Not wrapping up. And bloop. Bow.
He almost did a full flip back.
Yeah, his legs are over his head when he gets hit. Look, this is the best angle, Jessica. Right here. Boom.
Damn.
Come on, man.
I wish we had more time. I'd talk about the New Orleans High School State Championship, but alas, we must go. It was lost in spectacular fashion. Go look it up. Team had a 1-point lead with 35 seconds in the ball.
Took the helmet off.
Took the helmet off.
Like, come on, ref,
stops
just let
the clock.
that go.
Nobody knew how many timeouts any team had.
It
was
go.
just a lost cause of a game, and that poor kid who took his helmet off.
Remember it forever.
We'll never forget. All right, we'll never forget this show. We'll never forget you. The Memphis Grizzlies play a game tonight at 9:30 p.m. p.m. But we will be back tomorrow morning bright and early to talk about it. Grizzlies, Clippers, 9:30 tonight. We will see you. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Bye. 9:30.
That's late.
9:30.